These little jabs, snipes, and snarks that we all love but don't necessarily love to receive. Hidden, these comments can be quite funny, and while sarcasm, the favored method of my generation, a tempered version, no doubt, that we unknowingly took pride in. The so-called uniqueness of this bitter variant has its appeal. You know what they say, the agilist always gets the last laugh. The comfortable anonymity of the internet, eternally there to soothe the spirits of the sit-back and critique crowd. Don't get me wrong, I love the comments, good or bad. In fact, without them, I'd have nothing to say. I like to put myself outside of my comfort zone and continually push back at my constraints. The satisfaction of making something, anything, good or bad, is worth the effort. And to get better, you have to put it out in the world and let the critics knock it around a bit, or even a lot. Make an instrument, make a video, make a song, and give it a shot. I promise, it's better than making a snarky post. Unless that's your thing, and if it is, by all means, have at it. The nature of this work, with or without the mechanization used, is often misunderstood. All makers must develop an order of operations. It's essential. It may seem like the machine is performing the work. Machines only run programs. It doesn't get pissed off, it doesn't get happy, it doesn't get sad, it doesn't laugh at your jokes, it just runs programs. And yes, we generate those programs. I wrote a program the other day, and the machine just sat there and looked at me. I guess it couldn't understand my accent. The development of these programs is an artistic endeavor. Isn't all programming by design? We use the manufacturing workspace, a well-intentioned name, but unfortunate for my purposes, to select design elements and develop a strategy to mill parts. These selections must be well-defined and follow a well-developed order of operations. This process is eerily similar to the process luthiers use to make parts with hand tools. Yes, I said it. Go ahead and begin writing your sardonic comment. I can hear the knuckles cracking through the ruffled feathers. Here's a good one. I'm running a computer sweatshop in the basement. I stopped giving smoke breaks. They never seem to get back to work. I didn't say they were good jokes. At times, the order of these operations may differ in small ways from non-mechanized luthiers. These differences are small, and if you look at it closely, they're less than the average deviance that individual luthiers modify these processes. We must produce jigs and fixtures to build these forms. We rely on the accuracy of these devices. Bending wood will never be done to exacting dimensions. The better the jig is, the better the final product will be. I've seen luthiers make beautiful bending jigs and molds. And if you're going to be using them regularly and for a great deal of time, then there's a purpose in the time and energy expended to design and build them. What if you only intend to make one instrument? It's a hard concept for folks to understand. Generally, an instrument maker designs or copies an instrument model and makes slightly varied versions of these models, using these jigs and fixtures over and over again. There's nothing wrong with this kind of luthier. My method is slightly different. Using the strengths of CAD and CAM, I can design and 3D model any instrument to the specifications of the client and build a single-use jig and fixture at low cost in both supplies and time. In this way, I can develop techniques to make any instrument, and I'm not limited to a select set of models. This freedom suits me, or perhaps I lack the patience other luthiers seem to have in abundance. I'm just one of those lazy CNC luthiers, but I can't help it. I love the way the machines smile at me when they finish the day. I think we can all agree the CNC is an excellent tool for making jigs and fixtures. I see laser-cut acrylic templates for sale on all of the internet luthier supply stores. I've designed and cut many template sets for myself and other makers. I enjoy helping others make their ideas a reality. It's not all that difficult to make these templates by hand, but it's not the most satisfying experience, at least in my opinion. I was always dissatisfied with the accuracy of these handmade templates. I wanted to be able to reproduce the accuracy of the designs I had made in CAD in the template. Before I purchased my CNC, I would have templates laser cut from my CAD files. This was much more satisfying, and the instruments I produced took much less time and were far more accurate. I'm told that handmade instruments sound better. It's true, most CNC-made guitars have a bad attitude. It's hard to stay positive if you're not handcrafted. I have yet to have the complaint that my instruments are too perfect. And I'm the largest critic of my own work, and I can still see a lot of things I'd like to do better in the future. I would love the opportunity to make a series of the same instrument. I think there's a lot to learn from that style of building. I don't often get the chance to make 10 of the same neck or body in a row. It's a luxury, I know, but at the same time, I feel like I'm missing out on something. We live in a world of relative anonymity, and this affords us the ability to hide our faces and speak our minds. It's an incredible and fantastic freedom to enjoy. I may, from time to time, engage in this sarcastic or ironic vein of language. It's difficult not to. We also live in a time that affords us the ability to make things with high accuracy and increasing complexity. These tools are to be envied by the makers that came before us. It's important to learn from our predecessors, not to emulate them precisely, but rather to envelop their techniques into our own and take advantage of what is presented to us. It's getting close to that time of year where we dread the annual review. I took the time to sit down with the CNC and let it know how well it's done this year, and how sorry I am that there's just no room in the budget for a raise. The jabs we make at each other can be humorous, and there's value in that. I try to channel this into my craft. Whether it's writing narration, making videos, or building instruments, I have a lot to learn about all of them, so I hope you will stick around for the ride. Thanks for watching.